You give them time. First, you just do the management. You partially break the bad news, or you give them the diagnosis. Then you leave them just like that. So the other day you have a talk as well. You start from where you stopped. So by the end of the day, we need to talk to them. At least they should be aware.
Okay.
Unfortunately, for some women, the cancer has been too advanced. No cure is near possible. And so therefore, there's a very important palliative care component inside the hospital, a medicalized palliative care component, but also a very important home-based care palliative care component to try to offer the best possible end-of-life care.
Especially what you see at back.
We are here to see Emily Nkumba, who is a 27-year-old woman who was diagnosed with vulvar cancer. She is someone who doesn't have a mother. She is staying with a very old grandmother. She has no one to take care of her. She is living in a very devastating life. She cannot sit properly, so we also provided her with something that she can sleep on, maybe to provide comfort. So it's been almost 1 year since she has not been sitting.
So maybe we can continue with 10 minutes.
It's quite distressing seeing a patient at home in agony, have psychological issues, they are worried, others they are depressed. It's quite distressing. Almost all these patients present with psychological issues. So we are trying our best to cope up. At the same time, we're trying our best to do the counseling to the family as well as the patient.
Yeah. We went to Ndilande to see Margaret Mafuba, who is 49 years old.
She's a patient who I've been seeing for a couple of months now. She has cervix stage 4A, 4B. It's a stage where the patient has advanced. It's a stage where they cannot do an operation. So basically what we do, we just try to relieve some of the symptoms that may come in because of the advancement of the cervical cancer.
Kukuaputa ndi mayendedwe kuti aende apite ku toilet akakhale ndithu pamene ndipo kuvuta panopa toilet machita kutenga chani chingutudu kwa kazikira apo ndikutenga ipeyo ndikukasamala koma kuti aende okha apite ku toilet kukwanika akalepo ukasamba kubafa kuti timakazika pa mpando ndikumasambisa koma kuti adzuke pa mpando pa okha abwere panopa alowe nyumba moka ndipo ndikukanika koma zina ndi zinazo zachepa.
Most of them, they are taken care of by the female family members. Most of the time, the husbands are not around. Maybe they're busy with work, or others have been divorced because of the illness.
Komanso chifukwa cha vuto la kudwala kwangaku zampangaso affect mwana wanga kunchito amangosazika pafupi. Ndeni maona be kuti ali pa chiopsezo. Mwina akhoza kumuyimisa ntchito chifukwa chosazika.
When we are approaching the care, we involve the families and even the community the patient is living. So we don't just look at the condition itself, but what can come in because of the condition. The issue of breaking the bad news is not a one-off thing. It's something that you start, then you continue the other day, then you continue until the patient understands what is really going on. You just employ good communication skills, talk to the patient nicely, ask them what do they know about the illness. and ask them whether they want to know about the illness. Because others would say, I know that I have cancer, but don't tell me more information about that. So you stop there. Others will say, I know that I have this condition, but you can tell me more. But however, by the end of the day, you need to tell them what is going on. If they meet some resistance or the patient doesn't want to know, then still you try as best as you can so that the patient should know. Because others will meet them this week, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, they are dying. So if you didn't tell them what was really going on, they won't die in peace. So you also consider the time factor to say this is really bedridden patient and she has deteriorated. Then you start telling them the truth.
Pano pamene yanayamba kundithandiza medicines ululu kuchepa. Ukuchepawo kusiyana ndi mmene ndinalili asanayambe kundithandiza medicines iwo. Ndikumaonabe kusintha.
I first met her when the news was related to her that she was palliative and she was so down. So I asked her what gives her hope in her life, and she said she likes singing gospel music. So whenever I visit her, I try to sing some gospel music with her upon leaving. When we have done all the assessment, then I sing with her a song, then off I leave, so that I can still boost her spiritual life. Yeah. Seeing someone whom we were expecting to be deteriorating, recovering, and at last getting surgery, it was a success story.